Oi, oi, you beautiful bloody human beings out there. I'm actually using it as a tool. I'm using the camera as a tool tonight. The old anxiety's been popping off a little bit, and I'm going to tell you what some of the things you can do to help that out. The first thing to do is to definitely be putting in your homework a little bit and doing the work. You know, even though the anxiety may not be there and like every minute of the day, some of you it might be there every minute of the day. I know it used to be, in my case, quite a big chunk of the day used to be dealt with, you know, going in the wrong direction downhill with this bloody thing, because it was an absolute bloody nightmare. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have any tools. I had no idea what to do, but now I do. And I'm on this journey, and I advise everybody to get on a journey and start figuring out who they are. And there's certain things when you work with somebody like me as well that we can look at and get you off and away from who you don't want to be and into who you do want to be. And that all takes moving in those directions and using your tools and doing the things that we know works. And I sure hooked in that today. I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to show my vulnerability here. I'm going to tell you that now. Definitely show my vulnerability, because I'm going to England soon, and my wife and I, or me, is it? Oh God, someone's going to do me on the grammar. Grammar? What's that? It's what is that? Is that a candy? Anyway. I'm going back only for a couple of weeks. Couldn't do it to my guys. My work ain't going to let me do that. And I tell you the truth, I love my work, absolutely do. So I want to get back for my guys as well. But, you know, I've got some anxieties popping off, and there's good reasons for those. First of all, the last time I was back there was the beginning of that lovely thing that we had start up in 2000, what was it, 19? And I nearly got stuck there, very, very close. I got back into this country literally the day before the borders closed to everything. And there was a lot of fear with me being over there and not knowing whether I was even going to get back home, really not knowing. And the whole plane trip was, nobody knew. It was a complete and utter mystery, massive unknowns, and the news we were getting, was it's not a good thing. So that was my last plane trip too. I also got on top of that, the news of my mum having the early onset Alzheimer's, and even though I talked to her on the phone and she's good to go. Likes a laugh, we have a bit of a laugh as well around it as well, because sometimes she'll forget. I go, "You kidding me, Mum?" And she'll start laughing. But it's an unknown, and so what do we do? What do we do when we're in these situations where there's something coming up, and the fear is so high that. It's the overpowering factor is having the complete intent on what you're doing and where you're going and pushing through, because the fears and the fear talk is really going to play a number on your mind, and it's going to turn you away in every which way that it possibly can. So what do? We look forward a little bit. And yes, I do say about unknowns, and we don't know what's up in front at all. But we can have the visions of forward. It doesn't mean we know exactly how it's going to happen, but we put the visions there. So I start putting visions in there of, seeing my mum and my sister, to my sister and my mum, seeing them, seeing great friends that I haven't seen since 2019, taking my wife's coming with me. She hasn't been back there for years. So she's going to see a whole completely different side of what London is as well. Taking her to places that really I've only kind of discovered, believe it or not, since even moving here. So there's some great places that I'd like to take my wife to and show her around. My sister's on holiday as well. So, you know, being able to go out and have chats and be able to be face to face, concentrating on that as the whole piece, not the, you know, having to leave or having to see my mum face to face in, again, an unknown. I don't know. I have no idea. And big ups to my sister, because she's the one that's over there and doing the work with my mum and everything as well. And, you know, God, what a blessing. Because, you know, shit, it's... And I've had good conversations with my sister too, even recently, to where we've got that, like, you know what, we've got each other's back. We're going to figure it out. And, but right now, like my sister told me, which really stuck with me as well, believe it or not, is we're still going, we're still all good. And concentrating on that, because where the brain takes you is like way forward to a completely unknown. We don't even know what or when or how or ifs or, you know, nothing about that piece. But what our brain tries to do is tries to figure that out so it can protect us on the way there. And the one thing in Buddhism is just accepting and moving through. So that's what I'm doing, even though I have those moments I did today where I was like, uh-oh, shit. I put my mind there first. The other thing I did was I jumped onto YouTube and I found a really, really good, even though I have a meditation app, I absolutely use my meditation on Insight Timer. Go out and check out Insight Timer. I love that app. I really, really do. I use it on the regular. I'm a subscriber to it, so you get extra stuff. It's well worth the subscribing to this app, let me tell you, because the extras are nice extras. And they're constantly updating, and it's a great app. I've been using it for a good few years now, and I highly, highly recommend Insight Timer. And even though I have that app, you know, it's good to explore other areas. Don't keep yourself narrow-minded, guys. Keep yourself open-minded. Keep that ajna open. Keep that space, because that's what, as soon as we bring this down and we start thinking narrow-minded, we're not even looking beyond what could be. We go zhoof, and that's that focusing on one thing. And that's what anxiety will do. It will bring your vision so narrow that it starts to get absolutely scared, because all you're telling it is this instead of this, and opening up that mind. So I found a meditation on YouTube, and it really started. It was a frequency. And the picture up there was like awesome too. And I'm like, you know what? Start meditating. Listen to the rational mind. Listen to the rational mind, because you're going to go, okay, let's meditate, but you're going to hear, I don't really want to. But you've got to close that down. Move that away. Cough. Get out of here. You don't belong. Move it away. And start bringing in that rational mind. So that's what I did. And I lit some incense. I turned the volume up on the TV, because I had it up on the TV. I sat on the edge of the chair. I planted both my feet on the ground. Gang mudra. Rested up on my legs, closed my eyes down, and then started to really pay attention to my breathing, bringing everything into it. And then I think I'm going to do go and check out my podcast. I think I'm going to do a meditation. I'm probably going to do it after this and put a meditation out there as well. If you don't see it there, I haven't put it up yet. But what I did was I ended up putting myself under the ocean, clear water ocean. And it probably helps that I just watched a really, really good mate's video where the water was really clear. The Jarrett's Journey, go and check them out. And my mate Cam's in there as well from Chill Adventures. Go and check them out. And I got into watching both their videos, funny enough, which brings this to mind, because the waters were clear, and just that whole, I remember thinking, God, that whole Zenny surfer area in the mind is just like, blimey, I wish I'd have taken that up when I was younger. If only I lived on the beach then. But hey, So I took myself underwater and started seeing coral and fish and being able to, you know, crazy, but being able to breathe underwater, but taking it all in like I was free diving. And I was just floating around in this water. And then when I came up for air, it was this. I think I'm going to do a meditation on it. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea. But go and check it out. I'm going to throw a podcast up, I think. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. I just thought about it. So then I went to that. And I did a 20-minute meditation. I did use my Insight timer because I used the actual timer on it, which you can also set up and have different sounds go off for different intervals within that time. It's absolutely awesome. So I set it up for 20 minutes and I hit the button and out I put myself. And when I did the 20 minutes, it was one of those where I felt myself coming, like I said, it was underwater and I felt myself coming up for a breath of air. But that feeling of like, oh, I want to go back down underwater. And that's where you want to be. And I brought myself up out of it. You can stay on longer if you want. It's entirely up to you. But I brought myself up out of this meditation. And all of a sudden, feeling a calmness. Just a lovely feeling of lightness and calmness and presence. And one of those things that helped me in that presence, and this is, I've only just thought about this because I remember doing it while I was in my meditation. While I was working on my breathing and bringing myself underwater and really focusing on the old feeling of floating and lightness and, you know, like, believe it or not, bubbles around me and things like that. My daughter came down the stairs and I could tell, I didn't know which daughter it was. I had a bit of an idea because I can tell by the way they walk. and I was right, it was my youngest. And she'd come down the stairs and I could tell she must have come down and saw that I was meditating, so she was a bit more quiet. And I heard her going to the fridge and everything. And what I did was turned off labelling and just listened to the sound, like what was actually going on. God, I'm getting goosebumps. Listening to the sound. And when you start tuning into things like that, you're getting on another level. You're taking yourself to a different level, guys. Trust me. When you can just switch off labelling, or, you know, somebody could have got annoyed that something was interfering with their meditation. I didn't. I took it and used it and worked with it. And it completely came in my favour because I heard my daughter walk in and start talking to my wife in the room, and I wasn't paying any attention to what was said. I was just listening to the sound and how amazing it was that I could tune into these vibrations. That, well, I'm getting tingling in my fingertips right now. Wow, that's crazy. That I could tune in to the frequencies of these sounds, and that I'm able to have the human ability to be able to hear that. Amazing. And I tell you guys, when you take yourself to these areas, you become completely present with it. And when you can become completely present with it, you're going to come up out of these meditations and this breath work different-minded, like I did. I totally did. So think about it, guys. You know, yes, we may have these things coming up. And yes, like I said, these are rational fears of mine, rational. You know, it don't, just because someone else says, no, what are you worried about? Stop it. Or, God, you're going back to... Yeah, I know I'm going back to London. I know I'm going back to see family. I get it. Absolutely understand. Trust me. I'm very lucky. I'm very blessed. And that's not what I'm saying. I put these videos out there to maybe touch somebody to where they understand, to where you can tune into it and then know that there's ways, like I just taught, like some of those things I just spoke about. There's ways to work, but you've got to do the work. You've got to put your mind there and you've got to work. I'm not saying that's it for me and everything's freaking golden gates. No, not at all. These things, as it gets closer too, the waves get a little heavier, a little higher and a little bit more false. But you know what you do? You hone, like a surfer, you hone down your skills on handling the bigger stuff. But you don't know how to do that unless you're able to accept that it's there and work with it. You don't see a surfer fighting a wave. You fight it, you're in trouble. You've got to ride it. You've got to move with it. You've got to be in tune with it. You've got to accept it. And you've got to accept the fact that if you don't do your homework and you don't do the work, it's just like me. If I went paddling out and tried to hit a big wave, I probably ain't even get no chance. I'm a goner, mate. Goner. But hey, I've done a lot of steps to get to where I'm at. It doesn't mean there's no such thing as perfect. It doesn't exist. The word doesn't exist, guys. That word doesn't exist. Take it out of your vocabulary. There's standards. And at the moment, I have reached a standard to where I'm handling what I'm handling. But I'm getting given lessons. Absolutely, I'm getting tested and given lessons. You may see more videos of me up because I'm using this. And when I'm getting into some of these situations, I think I can teach somebody that. And I'll start the camera going. So yes, I'm being tested. And I'll tell you, anybody can get and jump in those comments and give me that little bit of a support. I tell you, it goes down a long way with me because I read them all. And it's an absolute pleasure knowing some of the people out there that I do that make the comments and they follow me and they lift me. Two of those people I've already mentioned, the Jarrett's Journey and Chill Adventures. Go and check those guys out. And there's a lot of other people out there that lift me up and get me and carry me forward. Grom is another one. He's another one. Dan Cobb is another one. I've got mates like Dave, and I can't go through. There's so many that I know are there. Some of those, not all the time, but I know I'll just do that. And boom, they're there. So this is going to be a short trip, or shorter trip, depends, right? I mean, even a couple of days can be a godsend, let me tell you. But this is a shorter trip for me, and it means me being able to do what I do, get back to family, see family, and be able to get back to my guys at within a reasonable span of time as well, because I stay very loyal to my guys as well. And I've got a new person that started up. Thank God they'll get four sessions in before I get off, and they've already got some tools going on, and they're loving it. So absolute blessing to be able to do what I do, but I also have those responsibilities to those guys as well. So much love to everybody. Thank you. Like I said, get down in there. Get down in there. Get down in there. Get in those comments for me, yeah. Send me some love. And go and hit that like for me and the subscribe, because what it does, yeah, listen, if you've watched to the end, I must be saying something right, yeah, or you're connecting with something, and this can connect with somebody else, where this can just help somebody. It's just like people we talk to, like I did with my sister. She mentioned that thing, boom, it helped. And it takes those things, it takes the comments and the lifting up and the love from you guys to be able to get the message out there to those that can, we can all share that love and share the message out there. So thank you guys. Love each and every one of you. Stay that course.